That night, while she was out with her sister, I reviewed everything one more time, the photos, the timeline, the recordings. I wanted to make sure I understood every detail before I made my move. The woman in these photos looked happy. She was smiling, laughing, clearly enjoying herself. This wasn't someone struggling with medical issues or hormonal problems. This was someone who had made a choice to redirect her energy away from her marriage, and towards someone else. And tomorrow she was going to learn that choices have consequences, especially when those choices involve lying to someone who trusted you completely. I'd been patient, understanding and supportive for 8 months. I'd accepted her excuses, given her space and tried to be the perfect husband while she lived a secret life. But patience has its limits, and mine had just run out. I waited until Friday evening. She'd just come home from another one of her girls' nights and was going through her usual routine of complaining about being tired and stressed. Perfect timing. "Hey, can we talk for a minute?" I said, sitting down across from her in the living room. "I've been thinking about our relationship." She looked up from her phone, probably expecting another conversation about our lack of intimacy. "Sure, what's on your mind?" I pulled out a folder I'd prepared earlier. "Well, I've been concerned about your libido issues. 8 months is a long time, so I did some research on possible causes." Her expression softened, probably thinking I was about to suggest couples therapy or a doctor visit. "That's sweet of you to be so understanding. I found some interesting information," I continued, opening the folder. "For example, did you know that women with zero libido typically don't spend multiple evenings per week at downtown bars with the same man?" The color drained from her face. She sat up straighter, but I wasn't done. I placed the first photograph on the coffee table between us. It showed her and her lover at a restaurant, his hand covering hers across the table. "This was taken last Tuesday, the same night you told me you were too tired for physical contact because you'd been working late." She stared at the photo, her mouth opening and closing like she was trying to find words. "I can explain." "Please don't." I placed another photo down. This one showed them kissing in his car. "This was Wednesday. You told me you were having dinner with your sister that night." I continued placing photos methodically, each one contradicting a specific lie she'd told me. Her breathing was getting faster, and I could see panic setting in. "Where did you get these?" she finally managed to ask. "From a private investigator I hired 3 weeks ago. Turns out women with zero libido don't usually check into hotels with men who aren't their husbands." I placed down the hotel photos. Her face went completely white. "But the really interesting part," I said, pulling out my phone, "was this recording from the coffee shop on 5th Street. I played the audio clip, where she was laughing about how clueless and pathetic I was for believing her lies. Her own voice filled the room, mocking my trust and calling me too stupid to figure out what was happening. She looked like she was going to be sick. "You recorded me," she whispered. "I didn't record you. You recorded yourself by having private conversations in public places. The investigator was just documenting your activities." I leaned back in my chair and watched her process everything. She was realizing that I knew about all of it. Every lie, every excuse, every time she'd made me feel like I was asking for too much by wanting intimacy with my own wife. "How long have you known?" she whispered. "Long enough to consult with a divorce attorney and separate our finances. Long enough to document every lie you've told me for the past 4 months. Long enough to protect myself from whatever game you thought you were playing." She started crying, but I wasn't moved. These weren't tears of remorse. These were tears of someone who'd been caught. "It's not what you think," she said. "It didn't mean anything. I was just confused about our relationship." "Then stop." My voice was calm but firm. "Don't insult my intelligence any further. I have 4 months of evidence showing exactly what this meant to you. I have recordings of you laughing about how easy it was to manipulate me." She tried a different approach. "We can work through this. We can go to counseling. I'll end it with him right now." I almost laughed. "You think this is about him? This isn't about some guy you're sleeping with. This is about the fact that you turned our marriage into a joke and made me the punchline." I stood up and gathered the photos. "You told me you had zero libido. You made me feel like there was something wrong with me for wanting physical intimacy with my wife. You used my trust and understanding against me while you lived a completely different life." "Please," she said, reaching for my arm. "I made a mistake. I can fix this." I pulled away. "You didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. Every lie was a choice. Every time you rejected me while you were seeing him was a choice. Every time you mocked my trust was a choice." She was sobbing now, but I felt nothing. The woman crying in front of me wasn't the woman I'd married. The woman I'd married wouldn't have been capable of this level of deception. "What happens now?" she asked. "Now you get to experience what zero husband looks like. You wanted to keep your lover while having a husband who paid the bills and asked no questions. But you can't have both." I walked toward the door, then turned back. "The attorney says I have everything I need for the divorce. The financial accounts are already separated. Your lover can start helping with the bills since he's been getting the benefits. You can't just leave," she said, standing up. "This is my house too. Actually, it's not. Check the deed. It's in my name only. Bought before we got married." The attorney made sure I understood exactly what's mine and what's ours. The look on her face was pure shock. She thought she was playing a game where she held all the power, but she never bothered to understand the rules. "I trusted you completely. I said. I believed every excuse, every lie, every reason why you couldn't be intimate with your own husband. I gave you patience, understanding and support while you made a fool out of me. I opened the door, but you made one critical mistake. You underestimated the man you were lying to. Some people are easy to manipulate. I'm not one of them. I didn't leave that night. Instead, I sat back down and watched her scramble to save a situation that was already over. It was fascinating to see someone who'd been so confident in her deception suddenly realize she had no power left. Wait, please just listen to me, she said, wiping her tears. I know I messed up, but we can fix this. I'll call him right now and end it. I'll delete his number, block him on everything. Now you can watch the fourth part by pressing share and more.